There was a time when women were magic, when we made love with rocks and rivers and cried in the arms of oak trees, when we knew the language of light and could speak in spider, squirrel, and hummingbird, when the elementals were our dearest friends and we could call down the rain or part the clouds just with our asking, when we held the birthdays of every living thing within our wombs and celebrated by singing and dancing their names, when our joy would send stars shooting across the sky and our fury would throw lightning bolts from our fingertips, giving warning to any who would destroy what we loved. There was a time when women were magic, when we knew our body and the body of nature and the earth were not separate, when we knew everything as energy and everything as connected, and we could merge with all of it and change forms at will, when we knew that we were just as multidimensional as time and space and could travel freely across the worlds as we do in dreams, rearranging the past, bringing back wisdom from the future, when we knew the landscape of the void and that nothing was impossible, when we could defy the laws of gravity and fly with dragons and fairies and step through walls of human ignorance, invisibly dissolving conflict like water on stone. There was a time when women were magic, when we knew the divine in our own image and likeness, when we claimed our authority to shape-shift reality, when we spoke intimately with the mysteries of birth, life, and death, and our greatest superpower was our surrender. Not surrender as resignation to forces outside of us, but as an act of opening to source within us. When women knew our giganticness, when we trusted the intelligence of our emotions as the energy of creation in motion within us, and held our desires as arrows in a bow. Each one intentional, each desire, the evolutionary direction of consciousness releasing through us, when we knew how to align our thoughts, feelings, words, and actions and make miracles through their focused intention. When we could bend will and statistics as easily as we blow kisses. When we were energy whisperers that could wield win-win outcomes in between and beneath logic. There was a time when women were magic, when we knew the real purpose for our eyes beyond looking in the mirrors of our own projections, when we saw from the inside out and could hold our visions in the face of duality, when we could transmute negativity and raise frequency just with our gaze. When we knew our physical senses were but gateways to the vast universe of our inner senses, when we weren't just clairvoyant but clairimaginal, when we knew the imagination was stronger than perception, when we didn't just make love with one another, we'd merge with light and give birth to whole new realms of consciousness. Like beauty is the hybrid blend of peace, of truth and love. And bliss is the alchemy of ecstasy and peace. There was a time when women were magic, when mothers and daughters and sisters and grandmothers would circle together under the moon to connect with the tides, cycles, and seasons, celebrating rites of passage, sharing blessings, when we knew that gathering with women to feed our wildness and flow pleasure through our bodies was the highest prayer we could offer for the planet. When our temples had dirt floors and no ceilings or walls, and every woman was a priestess. when the mother, the body, and our divine sexual energy were held as sacred as the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. When our brothers stood beside us, looking out in the same direction, when there wasn't need for protection, when women walked the earth not only in safety, but nobility. When our worth wasn't tied to anything that could be bought or sold, when old women were seen as the most gorgeous of all, and girl was an acronym for goddess in real life. When the wisdom of every age was honored, and every size and shape of the female body was considered a work of art. Yes, the world can be a trickster. Yes, you have every reason to feel weary and angry. You have every reason to doubt and give up. But if instead you would give me a little willingness, if instead you would close your eyes and open your heart and take the hand of the person sitting next to you, maybe you will remember. Maybe you will remember that when women come together with our brothers and sisters, the time of magic is now. The time of magic is now.
Now.
Shh. Can you feel it?